You know that there is ancient civilizations like Aztecs and Mayans who had heart removal as one of the sacrifices they do. They believe that their gods needs nourishment, so they assured the continuity of the universe. And they're not alone, as the Maasai, which is a tribe from East Africa, they had their warriors consuming lion's heart, believing it would imbue them with the animal's fortitude and bravery. And what's the story behind cellular memory that made people who transplanted the heart experiencing memories, emotions, or personality traits seemingly belonging to their donors? Let's start with the story where was the first discovery of the heart has ever made. 5,174 years ago, Egyptian civilization was known for its advancements in medicine and science. They revered the heart as the seat of the soul and the center of intellect and emotions. They believed the heart would be weighed against the feather of Ma, their goddess of truth and justice, in the ceremony of the judgment of the dead. The embalmers meticulously preserved the bodies of the deceased through a process of mummification, which involved removing internal organs, including brain, liver, lungs, and intestines. However, they took great care to leave the heart intact. The question that got into my mind here was why? Because they believed it to be essential in the afterlife. And you can see how much they knew, because there is an Egyptian medical text from 3,600 years ago called the Edwin Smith Surgical Papyrus. Provides some of the earliest known descriptions of the heart's anatomy and function, written by scribes who recorded the knowledge and practices of Egyptian physicians. The papyrus contains detailed observations of the heart's structure and its role in circulating blood throughout the body. Oh my God, can you believe that? And right after 1,000 years, ancient Greek made significant strides in understanding the heart's anatomy and physiology. The Greek physician and philosopher Hippocrates, often referred to as the father of medicine, made groundbreaking contribution to the field of anatomy. While he did not dissect human bodies himself due to cultural taboos, Hippocrates and his followers conducted detailed anatomical studies on animals, laying the foundation for later discoveries. Only 100 years later, it was another Greek physician, Herophilius of Chalcedon, who is credited with making the first recorded dissection of the human body, including the heart. Herophilius was a pioneer in the field of anatomy, conducting numerous dissections to gain deeper understanding of the body's internal structures. His anatomical studies provided valuable insights into the heart's chambers, valves, and blood vessels, although many of his writings have been lost in history. These observations lead to the groundwork for our modern understanding of the heart, till humans got the first idea of heart transplant. The Renaissance period witnessed a resurgence of interest in anatomy and physiology, leading to significant advancements in the study of human body. Pioneering anatomists such as Andreas Vesalius and William Harvey made groundbreaking discoveries about the structure and function of the heart, laying the foundation for future medical innovations. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the field of cardiac surgery began to emerge as surgeons explored new techniques for repairing congenital heart defects and treating cardiovascular diseases. Innovations such as the development of heart-lung machine by John Gibbon in the 1950s paved the way for open heart surgery and other complex procedures. The idea of heart transplantation was first proposed in the early 20th century, but early attempts were met with limited success due to the technical challenges and the lack of effective immunosuppressive drugs to prevent organ rejection. Surgeons Vladimir Demikhov in the Soviet Union and Norman Shumway in the United States conducted pioneering experiences with heart transplantations in animals. Finally, 100 years ago, exactly in 1922, the remarkable tale of the first heart transplant begins. Dr. Christian Barnard, a South African surgeon who initially pursued a career in medicine, specializing in cardiothoracic surgery. His passion for advancing surgical techniques and his pioneering spirit led him to explore the possibility of performing heart transplant, a procedure that had previously been deemed impossible due to the technical challenges and ethical considerations involved. In the years leading to the historic surgery, Dr. Barnard and his team conducted extensive research and preparation to overcome the numerous obstacles associated with heart transplantation. This includes finding surgical immunological issues related to organ rejection. On December 3, 1967, at Groote Schuur Hospital in Cape Town, South Africa, Dr. Barnard and his team performed the world's first human heart transplant. The recipient was Louis Washkansky, a 53-year-old grocer suffering from severe heart disease. The donor was Dennis Darvall, a 25-year-old woman who had tragically died in a car accident earlier that day. The surgery, which lasted approximately 6 hours, was an extraordinary feat of medical skill and precision. Dr. Barnard and his team removed Washkansky's deceased heart and replaced it with Darvall's healthy heart, connecting the blood vessels and ensuring proper circulation. Despite the inherent risks and uncertainties, the surgery was a success, and Washkansky's new heart began beating on its own. News on the historic surgery spread rapidly around the world, capturing the imagination of the public and sparking intense debate among medical professionals, ethicists, and policymakers. While many hailed Dr. Barnard as a medical hero and celebrated the achievement as a triumph of the human ingenuity, others raised ethical concerns about implication of playing God and the potential risks and consequences of organ transplantation. However, there is something that they were not expecting. Some recipients inherited memories, emotions, or personality traits from their donors. This concept first gained attention through anecdotal reports and case studies. Some recipients claimed to have experienced vivid dreams, cravings, or behaviors that seems to be linked to their donors' lives or experiences. One of the most famous cases involves Claire Sylvia, who underwent a heart-lung transplant in 1988. After the surgery, Sylvia reported experiencing cravings for food she had never liked before, as well as vivid dreams and sensations that seemed to correspond to her donor's life. She later discovered that her donor had been a young man who enjoyed chicken nuggets and motorcycles, preferences that matched Sylvia's post-transplant experiences. And here we come to an end for our episode today. Remember, always focus on your mastery, and see you in the next episode.